Why do I have to follow the script? The way I say it sounds better. This is my way. This is how I do it. This is how Jennifer does it. Do you hear this? Okay, listen. This is something that's been coming up for me recently on phone calls, through text messages, through emails, is the altering of the script. Now, I was being facetious by having an attitude like that, but maybe that's the case for you. So I want to talk about the importance of the why behind the words. When we develop scripting, it is to create a certain product at the end of the communication. And when we alter that, it alters the end result. So read along with me. I know some of you like to have words that go along with it. I encourage you to pause this at any time when you rewatch it, to take notes, or if you want us to send the document to you, send us an email at info@medprodojo. You can always give us a call at 833-678-0800. But let's get started on why behind the words. So the power of scripting and why sticking to a proven structure is crucial for consistent, predictable results. Words matter. Every phrase, every pause, every sequence in the script is designed with intention. This is to guide the conversation towards a specific desired outcome. Scripting isn't about memorization. It's about predictability and control. When a script is altered, even ever so slightly, it does change the outcome. You wouldn't change the ingredients to a proven recipe and expect the same delicious results. The same applies here. Deviating from the script dilutes the effectiveness. I always tell people it's the same thing. If you loved your great grandma's cookies and it was a secret family recipe, but you had it, but then you're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to put this type of nut instead of this one. Then that's not your great grandma's recipe. So stick to the recipes, stick to the things that are proven, tried, and true. A well-crafted script is based on human psychology, sales principles, real-world testing. It captures attention, builds trust and authority. You're handling objections before they even become objections. An objection is an infected question. Myron Golden says that. An objection is an infected question. It's a question that was there, it's festering, but it was never brought up. It was never answered. So then it becomes an objection later. Lead conversation to the next step. Everything we say is either attracting or repelling the person into what we're offering or away from what we're offering. Language is powerful. The words we use either pull people in or push them away. There's no neutral communication. Scripts ensure that your words are intentional and persuasive rather than reactive and uncertain. Think about common sales mistake. I just had this happen to me. I finished writing my first book. I wanted to go with this publishing company. So I ended up calling another one because as soon as I got on the call with the salesperson, he was on me like a fire hose, just ramrodding information when I had literally 15 questions that I wanted to ask. I feel like I wasn't heard, but I love the philosophy of the company. I love the history of the company. I love how long the company has been around. So because I'm well trained, most people wouldn't have done this. Said, I'm done with this guy. I'm not talking to him. He doesn't even give two rats butt about what I have. He's just talking the whole time. So don't make that mistake by talking too much. I told him, listen, Nicholas, can you take a breath? Because I have a lot of questions. I'm a driver. I want to get straight to the point. You don't have to sell me on all of these things and tell me all those things. What I need are my questions to be answered. Is your company providing the right solution to what my problem is? So take heed. This is why you stick to the script, because you can start talking too much and totally lose the person. People want to feel valued, heard, and understood. And most oftentimes, at least I know for sure, that is built into all the scripting that you're going to find at the dojo. Using weak language. This is one that's terrible. And I'm going to speak to case managers right now and even doctors. When you come in and you go over your x-rays, oh, we just see a little bit of degenerative changes. Oh, there's just a little bit of a lack of a curve there. Don't use minimizing words and then jumping ahead instead of following the sequence, because many of you guys are not doing the emotional readback because you think, oh, they don't need it. I just had a phone call this week where she's like, oh, I didn't do the scale of 1 to 10. And I said, yeah, what happened? Well, they were super excited. They said, yeah, they were all in. And then she presented the financials. Then the person gave them objections. So we don't skip the sequence of how the script is lined out, because each one of those steps is going to get you to the end product. Just like your great grandma's cookies, you want to enjoy those products that you know and love. You have to do the same thing when the why behind the words is the script with intention to deliver a specific product. When people go off script, they often say that it creates confusion instead of clarity, gives away control of the conversation. That's when now your patients start taking you down this rabbit hole about their neighbor they play bingo with, and they have this thing going on with neuropathy. We got to keep them laser beam focused, and the scripting, the intentionality, the why behind the words does that. It opens up unnecessary objections. It lowers the perceived value of what's being offered. Drilling and role playing, you guys hear me say this over and over again. The why behind the words are important. That's the script. Drilling the script is even more important. You drill it to understand what the product is behind it, but then you drill it so that when you open your mouth, it just comes out of you. We call that being unconsciously competent. You know it so well. It's ingrained in who you are. You understand the why behind the words. You understand the intention. You understand the desired product. This is what makes you a professional. So just like athletes, musicians, performers, repetition is key to mastering scripts. The goal isn't just to know the words, it's to internalize them so they become second nature. This is where drilling and role playing comes in. When you practice consistently, you move through 4 stages of learning. So we talk about unconsciously incompetent, like we just don't know that we don't know. Moving to consciously incompetent, we recognize what needs to be improved. This is why I'm telling you guys, please record all of your day 1 and day 2s so that you can listen back to see, do you have these things in, or are you consciously incompetent on certain things that you need to drill and role play? Then we have conscious competence. You can do it, but it takes effort. This is where most people get stuck. And this is where drilling apprenticeship is going to move you to the last and the most important place. That's unconscious competence. You execute flawlessly without thinking. So many times when on phone calls, people say, can you repeat what you just said, Natasha? And I'm like, I'm here with you. I know I said something, but because it's unconsciously competent, things just come out of my mouth. I'm not really thinking about it. So that's where we want you to be. So top performers in the industry don't wing it. They practice until they can't get it wrong. Repetition removes hesitation, builds confidence, and ensures that when you're in the real conversation, your words flow naturally and effectively. Anchoring to proven strategies, the script exists for a reason. It is tested, refined, and proven to work. Your job isn't to reinvent it, but to master it. I'm going to say that again. Your job isn't to invent it. It is to master it. So when you stay anchored to the script, you remain in control of the conversation. You avoid unnecessary mistakes. You increase your closing percentage. You can focus on connection instead of thinking about what's next. This is why being unconsciously competent is key, because now you're really connecting at a heart level with what this person is saying instead of in your mind, okay, the next thing I have to say is this. Okay, the next thing I have to do is this. drill it and role play it, understand the why behind the words, then you will be excellent and extraordinary. The biggest mistake is assuming know it well enough. I listen to recordings almost every single week. I was telling somebody this week, 21 years I've been doing this. If I was still stepping into doing case management, I would record myself. Why? Because I know this so well. I'm unconsciously competent. But when you're doing 5 back to back to back to back, your mind said, oh, I said that, but you didn't say it in this specific appointment. So continue to record yourself. And if you're new and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. I know it well enough. Record yourself and then look back and compare to the script to what you're actually saying, because you're developing neurosynapses that's going to lock it in, and that's going to create a strong memory for you. If you don't have the script right and you're creating the synapses, it's going to be hard to unwire that and retrain yourself to do the right thing. So making sure that you have time carved out every single day, every single week to drill and role play with someone else in your organization, it is key. Just like the athlete goes out, has a hitting coach, has a fielding coach, all the different things, it's important for you to have that as well. So final takeaways on this. Scripts aren't a suggestion. They are a formula for success. Every word you say is either attracting people or repelling them from the outcome that you want. Role playing and drilling builds confidence and eliminates hesitation. Master the script so well that it becomes second nature, unconscious competence. The best communicators aren't improvising, they are executing. Master the script, trust the process, and watch your results transform. Please trust that if you have a sales and closing script, that it does have intention behind the words. There is a why behind why those words were selected and how they're delivered, from the pace, the pauses, your inflections, the questions that you ask. So no, don't alter what you're doing. Execute what's been given to you. Know it so well that it becomes second nature, and know it so well that you can connect on a heart level with your patients, that you can truly hear what they're saying to you. Ask the right questions, be with the patients, and create an amazing experience. I hope that helps. Be blessed, be a blessing, and we'll see you next time.